Okay then, John, we've just got back from your short little shakeout spin ahead of the Gravel World Champs tomorrow that actually took just over 5 hours. Sorry about that. But this is your ride. So in this video, we're going to talk through your custom built bike spec, because you're a bit of a fiddler, aren't you? So you've sort of pieced this together, put what you want on it in various places, and I think it's quite an interesting spec.
Never get an off-shelf bike.
Exactly. Clutching at straws, this guy. So, right, start from the heart of it. What is this bike?
This is a frame built by an amazing guy in Scotland, Russ Stout. So it's a Stout Cycles Rock or Rock. It's sort of crow or rook in Old Norse and like Celtic.
Right.
That's what that means.
Okay. So you see shiny things and pick them up.
That's a magpie.
Oh, God.
I am like a magpie as well, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what this is. And it is Dedichai or Dacia, however people say it, 7000 series aluminium.
So it's aluminium, and it's smooth though, isn't it?
Yeah, so the smooth welded, which you can sort of do with a custom frame, but you probably wouldn't do it as mass produced. It's like the old Cannondales back in the day.
Right.
So he's, basically Russ has smoothed off the weld, so it looks super, super clean.
Why an aluminium frame? You've got other carbon bikes. Why did you choose this for a gravel bike?
Exactly what we started out with. I just don't want a carbon frame. I just don't. I just want to do things differently. That's just me. And I saw that he had built this super cool cyclocross aluminium bike last year, and we got talking and things. And then anyway, this gravel bike has appeared out of that relationship. And
so you're a salesman, and he's sold you something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that's on the top tube. That's painted on, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
it's done me
Nice
this little design there, which is actually an Ndebele design. So it's South African tribe. And my mum has done a lot of beadwork with them and spent time with them. So my house, my mum and dad's house, my parents' house, is covered in like African tribal thing. I've met Maasai warriors from Kenya. I've met the Ndebele. So it means a lot to me, and it's kind of like my mum is the most sort of, she will finish anything. She is the most stubborn lady you will ever meet. If she starts something, she finishes. And I thought, if I'm doing the World Gravel Champs, and if I ever think to myself, I could just climb off. Yeah. I look at that. That's and I think my mum would not climb off this bike. She'll finish it if she finishes it the day after. Yeah. You know, so
she's a bit heady there. So
yeah. Well, she's probably
what's that on the head tube? I can't quite see.
That is Russ's little sort of emblem that he puts on. So obviously that's a rook or a crow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. BB standard. What is it?
T47. Threaded.
Yeah. A lot of frames going that way nowadays, aren't they? So you like working, like reliable, like working on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about tyre clearance and like frame clearance and stuff?
So this was an interesting one. I tried to make Russ build the Holy Grail. I was like, could you do it so that it'll take a 1x50 tooth ring,
monster truck tyres,
and 2.4s? And he was like, oh. I can't do 2.4s with a 50, but I can go for a 2.2. So you can just about get a 2.2 in. But to be honest, I'm on the wide rims, so these are actually a 40 for this course. And they blow up to a 45. So
we'll come back to us on tyres.
It will take a 50 quite easily, but it can take mountain bike tyres.
Okay. External clamp. For seat post?
It's actually a 31.6 seat post as well, so it's a little bit stiffer.
Okay.
Yeah, which is nice.
Nice one. And then this is where we go a bit more to the Chinese market. Talk me through the seat post.
Elite 1, Master, AliExpress. These are great. Like,
how much are they?
£45. Or it changes like weekly, doesn't it? Like 36. And if you've got your
when you put this video out, they're going to be 200 now.
Yeah. I actually saw a guy at Master Megacross who'd got one of his bike, and I was like,
okay. And see that. Purely a compliance thing, right?
Super light. Yeah. It works. It's compliant, and I took a punt because I really like the shape. Yeah. I thought I'll just go for it. But I used some of my AliExpress coupons from buying a load of other crap. And I think I got it for like, the first one I got for like £27 shipped. So I thought, give it a go. Yep. And then I rode it and I was like, these are legitimately the best seat posts I've ridden.
Salutali SLRs is what you use on the road as well, or
Always
just stick to the same
I use a Flight if I'm racing, like Vanderpool, the one he uses.
Right.
Use that if I'm racing, like Darley or whatever, because I just like the position. But anything else, SLR. So S3 side.
Cockpit, talk me through what's going on up here.
Well, this is interesting actually, because I did have an integrated carbon vision 5D ACR thing going on, full cockpit, and it was fitted lovely. We'd cut it to it. They cracked at the British National, and Vision said they hadn't seen it before, but they have warranted it. Okay. So yeah, the amazing guys at Vision. But the problem was, because I run a stupid size with long and thing, getting them here in time to get it changed, to get it on for the World Champs was not going to happen. So I've gone for a Vision SMR stem, and actually for this one I went with a 38 centimetre, 40 centimetre Data Super Zero road bar. It's like one of my old road bars, because I thought it's got a nice deep drop. It's now, it hasn't got the flare, but I thought with the course the way it is, it's kind of going to be a lot like a road race, so let's go with a road bar. But also I've got a bar end tyre plug in there as well, because these Datas have got a long drop there, flat drop at the bottom, that it just fitted in perfectly. So yeah, nice.
Group set and drivetrain, what's going on for Shimano?
New GRX Di2 wireless,
12 speed.
12 speed.
What's your ratios?
So I've got a 945. So the new Di2 GRX has a 945, and I believe it's a 1051. It might be a 951, the other cassette they do. But I've matched that up with a 48 chainring on there. So
you've got a decent range there. What's it like jumps in between gears, like going down to a 9, or
that's why I've gone for a 48, because I had 46 at the British, and I just thought that top speed at the British Champs was just, it was okay, 46.9, but it felt like you were dragging such a massive gear. So I thought, well, if I go for a 48, I know I can get over any climb 48, 45 really, on some of the nonsense we get today. But I'm not going to drag a massive gear when it's at like 40 k's an hour. So yeah, that was kind of that's the reasoning there.
And what's the crankset and chainring?
So the crankset is Garberuk gravel crank, 30mm axle, aluminium with I believe they do a tie axle, and then it is their aero chainring. So they used to do their Spider chainring up to 54, I believe, but they stopped doing that when they brought the aero one in. So now the Spider one only goes up to 46, and the aero one goes up to 54. So had to get an aero for a 48.
And what size crank you running?
165.
And you're how tall?
6'1". Interestingly, I've always run short cranks because I've got short legs.
Yeah.
And I've always felt better on short cranks. And I say this because I was an athlete, and we did a lot of drills, and we used to do what they call dribbling, where you basically run really tight.
I was a runner.
So you run really tight drills where you're working on your foot contact. So I used to do a lot of that, and I've always felt that a short crank I felt nicer on it. Yeah. So I've always had short cranks. I've always had 170, but more recently I dropped down to 165. Yeah, you can get them. That's the thing. I would have gone to 165 if I could have got them years ago, to be honest.
Pedals, running Shimano Ortega road pedals.
I've gone road.
You mean you've regretted it today?
I've regretted it today.
Tomorrow massively. I think it'll be a good choice.
Yeah, I just looking at the course,
today,
watching the videos on YouTube, Matt Holmes' video and things, I thought, do you know what? I've actually had quite a bit of foot pain in some of the longer gravel events at the end.
I think something to do with the smaller pedal, and if you haven't got like top spec shoes that are super stiff, you perhaps absorbing that through your foot a bit more.
I had the Rafa top end Rafa Pro Team gravel shoes.
Got to spend more money, mate.
Well, apparently you have, yeah. But I had for about half an hour after I couldn't walk because my feet were so bad. Yeah. So I figured that if I'm going to be on the pedals tomorrow,
a pressure thing, isn't it?
I feel like I'm going to be better on a road pedal.
Okay. Drivetrain, you've got a wax chain, just a Shimano chain. Oh, no, it's not KMC. KMC, okay.
It's the pre-waxed KMC diamond coated one that they do. So yeah, I've just thought I'd try it out.
Yep. Brakes, 160s, just Shimano rotors, but you have changed the pads for Swiss Stop yellow stuff, yeah, which I've got as well. And I can't make my mind up if they're actually better or not. I feel like I need to run one, Shimano's in one, or SRAM in one, and then there was another, but...
No, they are good.
They're actually cheaper than the stock ones when I bought them. That's why I bought them.
They're good pads. Our mechanic at We Buy Cycles was the one who put me onto them. So he said they're amazing, and I just sort of roll with it. To be honest,
What does he know? God.
He does a lot of off-road riding, so I'll give him that. To be honest, I don't ever really feel the difference from braking. Like,
I think it's enough. Whatever pads you put in there, they're good enough in most conditions, aren't they?
Until you get to like the back end of the Monkey at Cannock Chase, going down the rock gardens, and then you're probably thinking, oh, I need a 180 rotor and a stronger and a better pad or whatever. But what we do, I don't ever notice personally.
You run a wheel brand, and we left wheels till last, so we're not doing a very good job of selling them. But what's going off with your wheel setup? And to give people a bit of a glimpse behind the scenes, you test a lot of different wheel setups, and this is one of the ones you tested that you haven't brought to market, but you're using because you've got a set of wheels. So
that is literally it. Yeah. So
talk through the specs and what your thoughts were when you're doing it, and explain this wavy thing to us, will you, please? Because it looks like you've hit a rock and just crumpled the carbon. Obviously, you have.
Right. So the hubs are the Passare hubs we use. The hubs we use on the Passare wheels. They've got the same internals, everything, the same shells. So I built those to these rims, which basically I was sort of finding my feet with wider rims, so 32mm internal, 40+ external, just having a look at that options there. And these had an aero wave in them that I'd seen somewhere, another brand had seen.
I mean, it's a wave. Who calls it aero? Like, do you know if it's aero? Like, you just say aero and people are like, oh, right, cool.
I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to see if I can get a set of the rims, put my decals on them, and see if they look cool. And to be honest, they look pretty cool.
I think they're like Marmite, aren't they? Some people love them, some people hate them. I don't think they're for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for you or for somebody else. So
they are the same profile as the ones you're running. They did come out of a different factory, so I would imagine this is going to be some kind of open mold scenario. I did buy them elsewhere, and I put my decals onto them just because I thought, do you know what, this is a bit of fun. These wheels were just a bit of fun.
So just remind me the specs then, internal, external and depth.
So the 32mm internal, they're actually 42mm external, these ones, so they're a slightly different thing. And they have that wave in them, and they're 47mm deep.
47 deep. And what do they come in at weight-wise?
I never weighed them.
No, fine. I mean, they weren't built with that in mind, were they? But they were just, okay.
Honestly, I just got, you say like, you say I test samples. This wasn't one that I was ever going to test. I just thought, I've seen it online, I've seen it in other brands, and I thought I should have a look at it. Okay.
So for tomorrow's course, it's some road, some off-road, so tyre choice is important because you've got to weigh up where am I going to make the gains and where can I perhaps allow myself to not have the most optimum tyre. What have you gone for? What size are they? What do they measure on these wheels?
So these are a 40mm.
And they're a what, Hutchinson?
They're a Hutchinson Caracal Race.
Yeah,
and they are
solid
fast.
Yeah.
And I like Hutchinson tyres, as you know. I rate them, and I rate them because I've never touched wood.
Why would you say this?
On a Hutchinson, I know.
It means you're going to slash sidewall tomorrow.
The reason I like them is I've never had a problem on a Hutchinson tyre. So, but I have on other brands.
You've actually had problems on Hutchinson tyres, but not because of the tyres. You've had problems with legs. Okay, so what width are they? What do they measure?
Again, 40mm, 45 on this rim.
Yeah, so blown up 5mm wider. That is big, isn't it? But they actually look like they fit the wheel well, don't they? They're not bulging out loads.
No.
They certainly don't look like they're being stretched out by the wheel. I think that's a really good. I know this 105% thing's been like, said it's not the rule of thumb anymore, as like the tyre supposed to be 105% of the wheel or whatever. But it looks smart, doesn't it? It looks like it's
the profile on these for a 40mm tyre is really nice when you look at it. I don't buy into some of this, like where you see these 105% of this, data that. It's got to be this, it's got to be that. I don't massively buy into it because it's the whole package. A wheel, in my experience, and I feel like I'm very experienced with wheels because I've ridden so many and I've chopped and changed, and obviously working at We Buy Cycle, I see everything wheel wise. I feel like we hone in on one thing. Like we was watching the Nero show last night or this morning, whenever it was.
You watched it 5 times because I mentioned these, so you're going.
Well, yeah, veteran. I'll tell you about that. I feel like they hone in on that one thing. Like, is it weight? Is it this? Is that? But actually, look at the combination of the whole wheel. Okay, so the wheel weighs 1,100 grams, for example. But what depth is it? What spoke? What width of spokes it using? So like with the carbon spokes, and they talk about crosswind, and you might be using a 5.5mm carbon spoke. Well, of course, that's going to react differently in crosswinds than a 3.4mm carbon spoke. So it might not be the depth of the rim. It might not be the fact you've got a 60mm front rim. It might be the fact that those carbon spokes are just massively wide blades. But that just builds into the wheel and makes the wheel react in a different way, right? So with these wheels, it's all about what is the package. You know, I've actually put pillar wing 20s onto this, which is it an off-road spoke? They are strong enough to do it, and they will cope, but they're super lightweight. You'd probably want a pillar wing 21 like you've got on your set, which are slightly heavier, and I've got
That's why you're dropping me. You're putting heavy spokes in my wheels. God's sake.
And I've got internal nipples on these. Just again, would you do that? We did it on the Passari Agros because, yeah, it anecdotally it builds a stronger wheel.
Yeah.
Does it? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if the science is there for that.
All right, cool. Well, if you've got any other questions, let us know in the comment section down below. We're in danger of turning this into a podcast then, but I think we'll...
Yeah, we're getting there, aren't we?
Hope you have a great ride tomorrow, Jono. We'll follow up tomorrow with the race day video. So I'm going to be out on course shouting in your face and chucking stuff at you. And yeah, have a great race out there.